Alright guys, Bandit here doing a rant video about score streaks in competitive Call of Duty. Now, I was originally intending to do this commentary last Friday, but I didn't have time to do it. And then I was pretty ill over the weekend, and I've been really lazy this week with doing this commentary, but I definitely wanted to get it done. So, as far as I'm concerned, if you add score streaks to competitive, then there is no competitive anymore, you just completely killed it. So this is clearly a major topic of discussion over the past couple of weeks. Pretty much everyone's been talking about it. And when I originally intended to do the commentary, at that point there'd been no rule set for anyone. There was no Deserter rule set, no Fred Cup 4 rule set. But now, we have the Deserter rule set. It is good. I'd say it's far from perfect. That's why it's a V1 rule set. But it is a step in the right direction. There's no score streaks, and they have banned the majority of the stupid things in the game, which is exactly how it should be for competitive. Now, Fred Cup 4 has gone completely the other way and lost the plot. They've kept in basically everything. It is literally publics with respawn delay. That is what you're going to be playing if you play Fred Cup 4, which I personally won't be going anywhere near, as this consoles.net PVR2 tournament is on the same weekend anyway. I'm not sure if the times actually clash, but it's a much more worthwhile tournament because, for one, European teams will actually get to host, and obviously it's not as big a prize, but it will still be a good tournament. So yeah, right, getting on to the main point of this video. There was a stream last week. For those that don't know, the weekly run, it is a stream where they basically get on American pros and just people within the community and talk about basically controversial topics that they think is going to get them a few more viewers. That's basically what their stream is. And last week they were talking about the score streak situation, and I actually ended up going onto the stream and getting in the Skype call, and I didn't go mad in the Skype call or anything, which I kind of wanted to. I just acted professionally, if that's how you want to call it, and just put across my points, which were all valid, and they came back with some complete bullshit, and pretty much all their arguments for including score streaks are just flawed. They're just reasons that they're kind of coming up with, because the only real reason that they want to include score streaks is the money prospect. It's as simple as that. Anyone that wants score streaks in competitive is just a sellout who can only see the money. So the sort of people that were on that stream were people like Ego, Golden Boy for the win, a few other people like Rambo, Hex. And these people are basically the only people that I've seen that are supporting score streaks, but they're all kind of key figures in the community. People like Hex, he's got an absolutely massive following, and all of Optic are supporting score streaks. Then you've got Ego, who obviously runs 360 Icons and is running Fred Cup 4, deciding the rules. Now, there was a stream again for the weekly rant yesterday, and I heard Ego make the most ridiculous comment ever about how people are actually happy with the Fred Cup 4 rule set, which is just a complete lie, because I know for a fact the majority of the American community also do not want score streaks included, right? And there's even a poll on 360 Icons where it's like an absolute vast majority that are saying no to them, and he's just come out with that comment. Ego is probably the most deluded person that I've ever heard speak in the competitive scene, so I pretty much ignore everything that comes out of his mouth. But right, getting on to their main arguments, right, to why they want score streaks included. Their number one argument is that every score streak has a counter. If anyone's not seen this stream, by the way, that was on last week, I'll leave a link in the description and the time I went on and stuff, and you can listen to some of the stuff they came out with before and after I was in the call. And they were basically trying to make out that score streaks were competitive, and they take skill, they add skill to the game, they add teamwork, you have to use your brain to counter them, all of these sorts of absolutely ludicrous statements. And then basically they said, like, if they're saying this stuff, right, why has Scorestreaks never even once been considered in any game, any rule set, our rule set or the American rule set up until this point? Because they think that if they add Scorestreaks in, they're going to get a little bit more support of Treyarch and it's going to bring in the money. But it's not worth it to completely kill competitive just for a bit of extra money. Now the thing is, they think that Scorestreaks are going to miraculously make our community, the competitive community, grow, when it's nothing to do with Scorestreaks. It's nothing to do with the rule set. We could have our same rule set, our same competitive rule set that we've been playing for the past 6 years and still get a massive increase in the community size if we get promotion from Treyarch. Now David Vandhar even tweeted to Scump, right? Scump put out some stupid tweet about or get used to Scorestreaks, adapt or bounce or something along those lines. And then Vandhar tweeted him and put, I'm not sure what the exact tweet is, but I'm guessing a few people will have seen it. It was something along the lines of, basically, you don't have to play Scorestreaks, you guys can play whatever makes you happy. So I don't know why they are so keen on trying to push through an absolute shit rule set with Scorestreaks in to get this support, when it sounds from what he's just written there that they're willing to support us with a proper rule set. But anyway, some of their other arguments as to why Scorestreaks should be included. Scorestreaks would not be as noticeable in competitive play as they would be a lot harder to get. Now, to an extent, that is going to be true, right? But how often, think about it, in a scrim, do you see someone, say at the start of a CTF game, go 3, 4, 5 kills to 0, maybe even with a flag capture? You see it all the time, because it happens. And that is more than enough to get you, what, a UAV, counter UAV, things like that. And all it takes is one UAV to snowball a game. That's it. You could get lucky at the start of a game and win from one UAV. Right. Another argument is that Scorestreaks will increase viewership of tournaments and the size of the competitive community. I already went over that point. That's a complete load of crap. It is nothing to do with Scorestreaks. It is all to do with promotion from Treyarch. They are completely wrong. So they say like every Scorestreak has a counter, this and that. Right, every Scorestreak has a counter, whatever. It's not instantly available for you. For example, the other team calls in a UAV. You might not have Ghost on at the time. You're fucked. The whole entire enemy team knows exactly where you are. You literally can't do anything. How is that even remotely like fair or skillful or competitive? Then they'd say something like run Ghost. That means you have to sacrifice Flak Jacket. An airstrike lands on your head. You run round the corner. A bouncing Betty blows up in your face. It's just ridiculous. You see where I'm coming from? It'd get to the point where you're sacrificing so much on your class and it's just so unskillful. And in my opinion, this game needs to just be stripped down to the bare minimum to make it the most competitive it can be. And at the minute, obviously the Deserter rule set is the closest we have, but I'm hoping that they go further in banning more things. But it is, for now, a really good rule set. But I really can't believe these people who include Scorestreaks want to include them in competitive. And yeah, I've not really gone over all of my argument in this commentary. I didn't really have time. The gameplay was only 9 minutes. By the way, it's just a public gameplay, but it's quite entertaining, fast-paced and stuff. I was just rushing and using UAV, counter UAV, lightning strike, you know, just getting a load of gun kills. So hope you enjoyed the rant and the gameplay, and I will see you next time. Peace.